I was watching the Texas A&M played South Carolina. This was before Thanksgiving. And while I was watching the game, they kept talking about there's a trophy that former Texas Governor Rick Perry commissioned when he was the governor to award to the winner of that annual game. It is called the William Bonham Trophy. And so during the broadcast, they were going back and forth trying to figure out where's the trophy, who has it, does it actually exist? And then they actually showed a photo of it. This is the actual photo. This is taken from the Instagram page of George P. Bush, who was the land commissioner in Texas. And so as you see there, that is the Bonham Trophy, and they've got some sort of writing on there. I said this on social media, and I did it, and I was going to come back and talk about it on the show. But while we were sitting here talking, and I think when one of y'all mentioned South Carolina and Lindsey Graham, it sort of reminded me of this. Let me be real clear here. This trophy should never, ever be presented to anybody. And if you are a black player on the South Carolina Gamecocks football team, and if you are a black player on the Texas A&M football team, you should never, ever even mention this trophy. You know why? This, come on, show it again. This photo here, y'all, is a Confederate monument. Bonham fought on the side of Texas when it came to the Alamo. Everybody, what they've done, and again, I went through Texas history, and they all remember the Alamo. The fight at the Alamo was the protection of slavery. That's what it was about. And so you're celebrating a Confederate hero in William Bonham. So shame on Rick Perry, a Texas A&M graduate, for even creating this trash trophy. But this is a perfect example, Greg, where people need to understand history. And what you see, so here when this was created, it literally was a monument to a Confederate. And what they've done is they've created this whole notion that the Alamo was about Texas independence. And it was independence from Mexico to keep people of African descent enslaved.
Absolutely. Well, you know, you've talked extensively with our brother Gerald Horn on this and his book, The Counter-Revolution of 1836. Texas is a rogue place. And now that it's majority non-white, and white people are the largest minority, but still a minority group in Texas, everything needs to be renegotiated and reevaluated. I did not know that about that statue. I'm glad you've informed us all tonight. And it should be immediately retired. It shouldn't even be a question. But of course, it took so long for them, Fort Hood, I mean, all of those places, it took so long for them to take those names out of rotation. But guess what? It can be done. They don't have to have the political will. We have the numbers at this point. And so, yeah, I think you're absolutely right, Roland. As this country continues to change demographically, everything's going to have to be renegotiated. We cannot continue this way. These white nationalists know that. That's why they're fighting so hard to preserve their little settler mindset. But we can overwhelm them now. We have the numbers. And by the way, completely unrelated, if FAM beats Prairie View in the SWAC championship game this coming Saturday, it's going to be FAM and Howard at Atlanta. I just came back from Atlanta. I think they're afraid they're going to burn the whole city down.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what I want to know.
I don't know if Atlanta going to be able to handle, Reese,
they're not.
all them black people for Howard and FAMU in Atlanta.
No.
I don't know. I mean, I was in Atlanta for the Super Bowl when Keisha was the mayor, and it was all right. So I think Atlanta can handle as many black people as
the Super Bowl is not Howard and FAMU. The Super Bowl is a white corporate party. That's what the Super Bowl is.
Well, I couldn't tell. It was all us up in there.
I don't know about this one here. I don't know. It's gonna be a little. It's going to be a little while up in there, Lauren. You got anything to say about any of this, Lauren?
Not really. I mean, as far as the statue, I mean, I would never have guessed that the Robert E. Lee statue would have come down in Richmond, Virginia. It came down because the people took it down, literally took it down. I mean, protested to the point where the politicians had to make a move that they did not want to make. So anything is possible.
That is the case. That is the case. So, but again, I just want to go ahead and make that point there.